You're watching The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building.
My partner,
Bakari Sellers.
What's going on, fellas?
Back,
no, I'm glad to be back. Thank you guys for having me so much.
how do we introduce Bakari nowadays? Is it CNN, political
CNN,
pundit?
Political commentator,
Okay.
put in retirement Politician, just cool guy.
You're not a retired
What do you mean
politician.
retirement?
And I got put into retirement. I guess I lost my last election.
That
but
don't mean nothing.
I'm getting back out there one day soon.
You know when we had Hillary up here, Hillary said, I would love to see, well, she was talking about Steve Benjamin, our mayor of Columbia, South Carolina, and then she was like, she started talking about you, and I said, I wish Bakari would get back into politics. She said, me too.
I'm getting
Could
back
you
in
tell him
soon.
that?
I'm getting back in there soon. That interview was dope, though. Congratulations on landing that Hillary Clinton interview. They almost didn't do it because of Charlamagne.
Yeah, we heard.
Bakari, Bakari set that whole interview up.
Thank you. You know, I'm sorry about it. I think he gave a donkey one time. Then he
No,
wore a mask.
his tweets. They went back. They went back to tweets from like 4 years ago, and I got a phone call the morning before the interview, and they were like, "Bakari, this is all on you. If this shit goes bad, this is all on you."
Were you nervous at all?
I was nervous, but I had talked. Charlamagne, I know they had y'all at some clandestine site out there, and I was like, y'all. It turned out really well, though.
It was good. You remember we had the Scout app?
Yes, the Scout app.
I had a video on the Scout app where I had a Hillary Clinton mask and I was humping them easy.
Oh yeah, that had to come down first. People don't know. I mean, I
They
tell
sent
people.
all of that.
Oh yeah, I was texting him like, man, take this down, and this one morning the whole time, and this.
How did they find that?
Cause what?
Oh, Hillary Clinton, right?
It's Hillary Clinton running for president.
Yeah, they find all of that.
Jeez.
But now, I mean, I came on here in 2014. You had the mayor of Newark. You got Andrew Gillum. You got Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders.
Jeff Holder. Eric
I was
Holder.
like, who's
God damn.
Jeff?
Eric Holder, Kamala Harris.
Yeah, so now this
Kamala.
is the place. This is the place to come. Everybody who's running for office, white, black, or otherwise, needs to come by here. So Andrew Cuomo, Cynthia Nixon, they both need to make a stop by here.
A lot of people that came in that lost, though. I ain't gonna lie, though.
That's not true.
That is messing with you.
Now,
Now, why did you lose, Bakari? What happened?
No, I mean, I ran against somebody who had been running for office since 1984, the same year I was born. South Carolina is still a very Republican state. And, I think I could have run a campaign, but I also think that the state wasn't ready to have a black elected statewide official. There was a Democrat, because Tim Scott did win, but just not espousing the values that I did. We talked about taking the Confederate flag down in 2014 before it was popular. People were giving us death threats and threatening messages about doing it. And so I don't think the state was ready. I think it's getting there. But I was happy to be a part of it. I had been in elected office for 10 years. So now you get a chance to take a step back and realize you weren't as important as you thought you were.
Which is ironic that, you was getting death threats for trying to get the flag down because it took death to get the flag down.
I mean, that's why, when I bring it kind of forward to Childish Gambino's video, like This Is America, one of those scenes in there when they gunned down in the church.
Man. That's what I said
and then
yesterday.
you see the paranoia and the mass paranoia afterwards. I mean, it just took me back to another place. I mean, I hadn't cried so much in a very, very long time. And, talking about an upcoming book you got, my anxiety just went through the roof after that because you lost a friend. One of my good friends, Clem Pinckney, was the preacher in that church. He actually made it. He was the only person who made it alive from the church to the hospital, and he died at the hospital. His wife was in the church. His daughter was in the church. He invited Dylan Roof into the church, and he actually had Dylan Roof sit right by him doing Bible study. And he was killed because of the color of his skin. So we still got a long way to go. But, that was a part of our campaign, and it just didn't work. But maybe you laid the groundwork for others to run.
I saw you enjoying the Childish Gambino video. You actually commented Kanye who?
Yeah. So, but in 2014, I told y'all right here in this seat about Kanye West. You asked me about Kanye West kind of transfiguring the Confederate flag. And I said, you can't do that to something that has so much pain and oppression tied to it. And there's not a political statement that Kanye can make. And the problem, there are a couple of problems with Kanye West as he stands today. The first is we look at Kanye West politically through the lens of George Bush hates black folk, right?
Yes.
That's the only thing that Kanye West at that point politically has actually gotten right. Everything from that point forward has been a misstep. So that's first. And second, you look at somebody, I think that Ta-Nehisi Coates just wrote it.
That was a great article.
Oh, it was amazing.
Oh,
I had to read it
article.
4 times.
Great article.
I'm not black, I'm Kanye, right? And Kanye is looking for this white adulation. He's made himself, right now, he's the mascot for white supremacy. I mean, anytime Donald Trump goes on stage and touts you, but Flint still doesn't have water, there are hundreds of thousands of Meek Mills in the United States of America. You see the instances of police brutality. It still takes 225 years if we were to make wealth equal between whites and blacks today. It'd take 225 years for African Americans to catch up. You have systems of oppression and injustice. You're punished because of the zip codes you're born into. And that's just talking about black folk. We haven't even talked about our Muslim brothers and sisters who are being oppressed every single day. We haven't even talked about dreamers who are in this country who don't know if they're going to be ripped away from their family. So Hispanic, gay, I mean, there's so many vulnerable communities that Kanye West apparently doesn't give a damn about, right? And the fact that he's a grown man and he's not able to see that or not willing to learn about it, other than that Google image he put up.
Well, that is the problem. He just doesn't know.
No, Kanye West is what happens when niggas don't read. Seriously. I mean, and he's proud of it. Like anti-intellectualism is not cool. Like not reading, not searching out your environment. I mean, Kanye West literally said, I don't read books like that, and to not be in a state of rage because of the environment around you. Yeah. So I said Kanye who, because there's so many people who are replacing him. I mean, you think about the coolest part of that video. And I know T. Grizzly was in here early, and I think, I was able to talk to him a little bit, and he actually grasped it. But the coolest part about that video is the young kids that follow Childish Gambino throughout, because what it shows is that the youth are always following you. They're watching your every move. They're watching your every step. And we just have, thank God for J. Cole and Kendrick and all of these other people. And, there's a role, I guess, for Tekashi and I don't even know half their other names.
Not really, but okay.
I mean, there's a place for them. I mean, but we have to get to a point where we can be more conscious.
Do you think it's one of those things where he made too much money and just doesn't see himself as us anymore?
Well, apparently he didn't make too much money because he broke.
Well, he's not. Well, he was in debt. He's not broke though.
I don't think Kanye broke now.
Yeah, he's not broke now. But he definitely was in debt.
Well, so did he make too much money and he doesn't think he's one of us now? I don't know. I think that he looks for acceptance from other people. I know that he's struggling with the death of his mother. I know that being in Calabasas can change your world. Opioid addiction is real. All those things that Kanye West are going through are really real. But I can't make an excuse for him being a part of the oppressor's team, right? There's no excuse for that. But to this conversation we were just having, one of the things that I'm talking about, I'm working with a group of young black men out of Charlotte called Melanin Money, is the fact that we don't have, in our communities, we don't have wealth. When you talk about the fact that African Americans don't have we know a lot of rich people, but we know very, very few wealthy people.
Well, I think this is the first generation of black wealth.
We're still making our money. So, for example, you look at the purchase of the Carolina Panthers, right? For example, you have to be able to put up $800 million in cash, to buy that team. It's a $2.5, $3 billion deal. What African American can put up $800 million in cash?
It's coming.
But now, currently.
Oh, probably none.
And still be able to live and still be able to have a business and flourish. I mean, you have to take
maybe Oprah?
Nah.
You don't think so?
Nah. Cash?
Her net worth is like $3 billion.
You said cash, liquid though.
That's what I'm saying. So liquid, I would give her at least a little over $1 billion.
That would then be all her cash.
That's true.
So that's what I'm talking about. You would have to take Puff and Oprah and this person and LeBron and this person and that person, whereas you have people in this country who can just write that check.
Right.
And so we still have to work to get there and make sure that we're investing and doing all of those things proper and doing all those things right.
It's coming though. I mean, they got a 400-year head start on it. This is like the first generation of black.
I'm not blaming us.
Yeah.
No, they definitely got a head start, but I'm running that race now as well.
But it's funny. I was talking to my daughter about this just yesterday, and I was talking about legacy and when I want to leave. I was telling her why.
That's kind of morbid.
Yeah, why? No, not as in dying, but yeah, as in dying as well. Like I said, I want to create something where they can have something for themselves. And these are the conversations my dad didn't have with me and my mom didn't have with me, but I'm having with my kids. And they're understanding it more. They're understanding the value of a dollar. They understand why I do certain things and invest in certain things and pull money out of certain things. So they're getting it early. So we're putting it in their heads a lot earlier than we were.
That's true. And, my father, we're from Denmark, South Carolina. We got 3 stoplights and a blinking light. And y'all remember when they used to mail you credit cards? My father would take those credit cards and cut those up in front of us right now. And so I didn't learn about credit because my father was always under the belief that if you don't have it, you shouldn't spend it. You shouldn't buy with something you don't have.
Right.
So he never had an overdraft. He never had a credit card. He would just cut them up in front of us. So those are things that I had to learn. And thank God I have a co-parenting system with My wife and my daughter's father is Vince Carter, and so we have a co-parenting a new blended family, and we're able to teach her at 12 years old, what it means to save, what it means to have credit, and those type things. And
Vince Carter?
You didn't know this?
No.
And you guys are friends?
I think I don't remember this.
You speak all the time?
We don't speak all. We co-parent. I mean, he's a good dude. Let me tell you something, and then that we can move on. But Vince Carter is an amazing father, and so he's an amazing father to Kai, and I get a chance to learn how to be a father to Kai, and so she just has a huge network, and so.
Has he still got money?
Vince?
Yeah.
Vince is
He played last year in the
I'm just
league.
making sure the child support payments coming on time, okay?
He played last year in the league.
I like to see my brothers come up, all right? This is a good way for Bakari to come up here, all right?
All right. Okay. Yo, I'm going to get a phone call about this one. Nah, but he's a great father, and let me tell you, he takes care of his daughter in every type of way possible. So I couldn't ask for a better situation.
Right.
Why do you think, we talked about this a little bit, but why is some of the conservative rhetoric starting to convert some liberals?
I think that first of all, there's an opportunity over there. So for example, if DJ Envy wanted to go and reach the pinnacle of success, do you live in New Jersey or New York? Jersey, and you wanted to run for office in Jersey, go be a Republican. We can put you in the state Senate right now. If you go up and say, I'm from free thought and small government and conservative ideas, and we'll get you a Make America Great hat. And, we can give you this lane of opportunity. That's first and foremost. But African-American men are what I'm more concerned about. There's a lot of misogyny in our culture.
100%.
It's a lot of misogyny. There are people right now in our barbershops who'll tell you they didn't vote for Hillary Clinton because she's a woman. They didn't think a woman could be president. There's a lot of ignorance, and we have to do a better job of educating ourselves. And so we're beginning to do that, but there are cracks, and Democrats haven't done their job.
Yeah, that's what I feel like, man. I feel like Democrats are so busy just blaming Republicans for everything instead of telling people what they actually want to do.
Well, yes, we're the party of Donald Trump is this instead of telling people what we believe in.
Yes.
And so, for me, I tell people my task is simple. My mother got diagnosed with leukemia while I was running for lieutenant governor. And in Bamberg County, our hospital shut down. And one day my mom was walking in the house, and she did something that older women or older people should not do. She was carrying grocery bags with both hands. And so she tripped and couldn't break her fall. And fell right on her mouth, busted her mouth all open. Now, I'm a lawyer. My sister's a doctor. My brother is an exec, a sales exec. And so we were able to get a network together, get on the phone, have somebody go pick my mom up. And they had to drive her 30 to 45 minutes to the nearest hospital. Now, what if you didn't have that? What if you're working 2 jobs at the Savannah River site? Or you only have, one person in your family who's working diligently. My mom was sitting on the steps just bloodied and bruised, teeth all out and all that type stuff. And so you realize that she didn't have access. And so what I want to do is create access for people, access to a quality education, access to health care. There are 13-year-olds in this country, black kids, from Harlem all the way down to South Carolina, who have never seen a dentist, right? That's
not required in school? I thought that was required in school, no?
Nah.
Wow.
You go see a dentist?
I thought dentist and doctor, that's required.
Not no dentist.
Not no dentist.
Yeah,
wow.
Maybe the doctor, not dentist.
Matter of fact, I thought eye doctor, dentist, and maybe not.
No, that's called.
Not where we from.
Nah, not where we from. Nah, we know some of those dudes.
Exactly.
No, and so, you got kids who still lunch at school. I know you grew up with some kids who still lunch at school so they can go back and feed their little brothers and sisters 100%. At night. So, we have real issues, and that's what Democrats need to be talking about, how we destroy these systems of oppression.
What do you think the best thing has been? What's the best thing about the Trump presidency so far?
That we're talking about race in a very, very real way. Donald Trump is a racist.
Absolutely.
Period. But Donald Trump doesn't bother me as much as the good people who still support Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. I look at white evangelicals, for example, these people who thump the Bible, Franklin Graham, for example, who will turn their nose to the bigotry, the xenophobia, all of those things that they claim to espouse on Sunday, but on Monday through Saturday, they want to make America great again. That bothers me. I'm trying to figure out where that jives, and it's troublesome. Without Donald Trump, we wouldn't be having these discussions about race. If Hillary Clinton was president, we wouldn't be sitting here talking. We would be talking about criminal justice reform, but in a different way. Now we're having a very visceral conversation because, race and genocide, slavery and genocide are the 2 original sins of the United States of America, and they've never been dealt with.
But do you think people, I should say, like Donald Trump because he's not a politician? He's a regular guy, says what he says, means what he means. And I think we've been, politicians have kind of hoodwinked us for so long.
Define regular. Regular is a strong word when you.
Yeah, no,
Donald
but
Trump.
he's a part of what he's illustrating is the con that Donald Trump pulled on America because Donald Trump literally uses the bathroom on gold toilets, but he made poor white folk think that he spoke for them.
Unbelievable.
Right.
I mean, it's one of the greatest cons we've ever seen, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that he speaks their language. He talks about us in public the way they talk about us behind our back.
But black people support him, which is crazy.
13% of African American men did.
I seen T-shirts "Blacks for Trump."
What type
that's
of black
actually-
men though?
So that's actually a cult.
Paris Denard.
That's a cult. If you look at that Blacks for Trump, that's a wild. If you Google Blacks for Trump, it takes you down a wild path of like savagery, murder, brutality. It literally is a cult.
You think Paris is jealous of Kanye since Paris used to be the leader of the cult? The Black for Trump cult.
I was on TV with Paris not too long ago. Paris believes everything he says,
which is unbelievable to me.
It is. I mean, I love Paris Denard, and I try to talk to him about Baldwin or talk to him about what's going on, or talk to him about whatever, basketball or baseball. But the United States has an awesome kind of irony in that they always remind you that you're black. Like it comes a point in time where these United States of America will remind Paris or whomever else that they are black. And so, he's a friend of mine, and we just have a difference of opinion on politics. And I think that right now, Donald Trump is dangerous, and those who support him and espouse those values on that level are dangerous as well.
So why are we so quick to cancel a Kanye but not a Paris Denard?
Because Paris was never one of us. You can't cancel anybody who's never been a part of you.
Okay.
Yeah, but Kanye, see, Kanye's canceled for me because I can't separate your art from your politics. Not at this point.
What about if he doesn't know?
Yeah, I mean,
I think the thing with Kanye, and I'm not making excuses for him because I think he's an ass in some of the things that he said, but I honestly just don't think he doesn't know.
Clue.
But I mean, at what point? Is he gonna change? Is that what we're saying?
I hope so.
I mean,
he's 40, right?
I look at Kanye like my 4-year-old son. Like he and not no disrespect, but he just doesn't have the knowledge. You know what I mean? And with my 4-year-old son, I have to explain to him why he shouldn't hit because he doesn't know.
But those are two different things. Not having the knowledge and seeking it is vastly different from espousing ignorance, right? With that platform, like Kanye West on TV slang, giving the old trope that somehow slavery wasn't that bad.
Yeah. Or slavery was a choice, he said.
It feeds into the trope that slavery wasn't that bad, right? 400 years, why y'all still there, right?
Like it was a job.
First of all,
you can enroll, quit when you want.
Yeah, I know. Like you could take smoke breaks, like you could transfer plantations when one got rough, and it's like first of all, you don't know that, we were stripped of our religion, raped, battered, bruised, language, everything, your entire culture. So you get here. Then apparently you don't know about Nat Turner. You don't know about the actual rebellions.
Harriet Tubman, Denmark Vesey.
Yeah, you don't actually know that part of your history either, so that's compounded. But then you disrespect all of those individuals who gave so much to so many people. I think, was it Will.i.am who gave a great interview about?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, that's my problem. My problem is, but separating your art from who you are at this point in time, like I need more than all of the lights right now.
Yeah.
I might get back to that. I'm a Jeezy fan. Like I think T.I. invented trap music, right?
Absolutely.
So that's where I go back to. Thug Motivation 101 is the greatest mixtape of all time, right? No offense to you.
If you ain't never had nothing on that level, you don't have to say that.
I mean, he was
sure did.
If you never had a Trap or Die,
I sure did. That Rockefeller mixtape with the beans and all that. That definitely was.
No, Trap or Die is. You got something better than Trap or Die?
No, he doesn't.
That Rockefeller mixtape was all right. It sure was. The Star Wars. Return, whatever.
But anyway, I'm just saying that right now, that T.I. versus,
Ye versus the people.
Ye versus the people is what we need. This J. Cole album is what we need.
But don't you look at him as a puppet? And the reason I say that, it seems like with Kanye, it seems like nothing's coming from him.
Who's it coming from there? Chris?
That's the people.
No, it's coming from the people around him. See, this is
like he posted something on Twitter a couple of times, and we all know that wasn't from him. It's just somebody told him.
Well, he's talking to the Candace Owenses of the world and.
Have y'all gotten Candace up here yet?
No, I actually had a conversation with Candace last week though, and I think she got some good ideas.
She trolls me, so I'll put something out on Twitter, and then they'll throw it up on Fox News, and then she'll get a chance to comment on it. So
really?
I'll say something that has like 20,000 retweets, and then she gets to say it to 10 million people. So let her know that I see her trolling me on TV.
I just have a problem with our people putting us down in front of white people.
But like with Kanye hits Charlamagne and asks Charlamagne, is this true? Is this right? That tells me that, no disrespect to Charlamagne, that he doesn't have anybody around him.
But no, that's the thing.
So
That's the difference between Charlamagne and Kanye, because y'all were sitting up here having a conversation one day about Meek Mill. And can the governor pardon Meek Mill?
Right.
And I was just driving in the car. I just hit up Charlamagne.
Right, but you're a friend. You known him for a long time. Charlamagne and Kanye ain't great friends. They ain't grow up with each other. That means the people around him have no clue either. And the advice that they giving him is horrible.
Well, but that's part of growing up. Like that's one of the things we teach our children. Like, you know, somebody else was sitting in this chair talking about the fact that you need to have people around you that are smarter than you. That was it Nipsey or smarter than you? And
I don't remember, but yes,
smarter than you and sharper. How I know more about your interviews than you?
I don't remember. I've heard that so much. But yeah, you should have people around you.
You got to have people around you that are smarter than you, that can take you to different places, that can educate you, that can help put you on another playing field.
And as soon as you did that, you know, he got on there and was like, "Yo, Bakari just hit me and said this is what can happen," because we didn't know. But that's what you need.
But that's how you use your platform too, because now you're educating the masses on how this system works. And you know, so we'll see what happens. I don't have any faith in Kanye West. In fact, I'm moving on. You know, I think it's at a point in time where we move on. We figure out who is a part of this struggle. Everybody's not going to be a part of it. Right. When we get to the top, hopefully we can drag Kanye along with us. And if he wakes up tomorrow, we will gladly welcome Kanye to the fold.
It didn't encourage you when he tweeted out Angela Rye and Amanda Seales and Tamika Mallory and Linda Sarsour.
He had your friend on it too.
Carmen Perez.
See, now I looked at that list and said, I said, these are all Charlamagne's people. Charlamagne must have told them, Google these people.
Including Tammy.
That's not my people.
I
actually was talking to him about the dangers of speaking to people with that kind of rhetoric, and that's why I mentioned her name. And you know what I went through when I tried to have a conversation with her. And so that's why he Googled her name.
But you see, it was all the people that you.
But I got a question though. Why you just give him all the women in your life?
Because I feel like he needs some black women around him.
Yeah, that's probably.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. He needs some black women.
He needs a hug from a black woman. Is that what you're saying?
He needs a black woman to slap him upside the head.
This is Charlamagne's influence, which is great.
Man, no, I sent it to Angela, and Angela just sent back the emoji of the palm on the face.
But black women do get through to you in a different way.
Yeah. And they have patience because they got to deal with us on a regular. Black women are patient. I mean, and and they're knowledgeable and they're nurturing, and that might. I mean, he misses that because the black woman who was patient and nurturing to him died, and so you might be onto something.
Now, is it hard not to get caught up in the fame aspect of being on television?
For me, no, because my as you know, you go home and your family humbles you.
Absolutely.
My 12-year-old humbles me every single day. We got to have dance contests, me and her mom, so she could figure out which one of us is the coolest. You know, so I'm in there I'm on Instagram trying to learn all the new. I'm nearly rocking on them and everything. You know, I'm learning all the new dance steps just so I can keep up. But and then coming from where I'm coming from, I come from a place that's real poor, man. And so being able to go back home and people hug you and say, "Man, we saw you on CNN. You were kicking their ass last night." You make me so proud. There's nothing more dope than that. So it's hard sometimes because you can no longer move the same way you move. Like I live in a bubble, and so I go to the same little bars I always go to where people know me. They know not to talk politics. You watch what you're doing, and because people always want to catch you slipping.
What about your opinions though? Because you know social media is like that playground. So you find yourself playing to the crowd sometimes?
I try to be me and be original. I think that sometimes you get out there, but all my thoughts are myself. Like I know that, you know, and I want to hold our people accountable. I know one of your good friends I've held accountable before, and I would expect the same of me as Killer Mike. You know, I thought Killer Mike went out there, and you know, and Chance, for example, when Chance was helping Kanye. I mean, you jumped out the window to save a friend. It's something we would all do,
right?
But somebody needs to tell you, hey, look, you know, this is something larger than us right now. And so it's hard. And my wife says that I'm a D+ list celebrity, and I'll take that. Maybe one day I'll be as famous as Envy. Yeah, and be a B list celebrity.
I'm more like a C. I'll take a C.
I wasn't mad at Chance's tweet though. It was at the wrong time.
It was the wrong time because Chance actually had some validity in that we need to hold Democrats accountable when they come into our communities and ask for our votes in Baltimore, New York.
Well, he ain't say all that.
I know,
and that was the problem. No context.
Twitter has no nuance.
Yeah.
Twitter has no nuance. But then you also have to realize that when we tweet something and we get 20,000 likes, we like, man, yeah, that's what's up. But there's like a whole world outside of that.
Right.
That once you go viral, there's still people who work every day who don't care.
Absolutely.
Who haven't seen it. So it's hard, but it's something that I love. I appreciate. I'm writing a book. So when it comes out, I'll be back up here. it's a hard process, but just trying to build my brand.
Well, what's next for Bakari besides the book?
I got I'm gonna run for Congress one day soon.
Hey,
whenever Jim Clyburn, I want to hire Jim up here so he can be the fourth member.
You know good and well Jim gonna die in that seat. God bless him. I mean that in the best way.
All right, he won't be able to come home talking like that. So I love him. He's been a hero. I work for him. So whenever he decides, I mean, I'm sure there'll be a lot of people running. I just want to be one of those people in the hat. But until then, just trying to be a voice every single day. Be a voice for the voiceless or a voice for the unheard.
With the Killer Mike situation, did you reach out to him or did y'all just?
We don't have a relationship like that. So I mean, I sent something to him, and we have I guess when you reach a certain level, it's like always 1 degree of separation. Mm-hmm. So like when I have an issue, like with I have my issues with Bernie Sanders or Killer Mike, then I'll pick up the phone and talk to Nina Turner. Mm-hmm. And be like, this is where this comes from, because I know it. Yeah, it's on this level, and so that's it. And so I Killer Mike went to Morehouse.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're Morehouse brothers and all of that. I remember when Killer Mike was performing on the steps of Kilgore.
What was so bad about what he did? Because
he was a tool of the NRA. They literally utilized him to be a tool of the NRA, and not only that, but he didn't have all his facts together either. I mean, if you're going to do that, if you're going to go into the home of the oppressor, I mean, you can't go in kumbaya. You kind of it's like whenever you go on Fox News, you have to be ready to go in and fight for your ideas and fight for your ideals. And I just thought that the timing of it was awful too. It was right after Parkland.
Well, no, yeah, it was right after Parkland, but he was just being a proponent for black gun ownership.
I mean, I have a CWP. Yeah. I mean, we can talk about gun ownership, but we can also talk about common sense gun reform. And we're going to also do it at an appropriate time. Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about African Americans owning guns?
I think if you want to own a gun, you should.
You from South Carolina, you got a gun.
I mean, I literally have a CWP in my pocket.
Yeah.
So, I mean, funny.
Explain to people what that is, because they don't know. They're going to got a gun.
No, a concealed weapons permit. Yeah, I have a concealed weapons permit.
Don't carry it in New York. That don't mean nothing in New York.
Do you know why you have lockers at rest areas in South Carolina? It's because you're supposed to go lock your gun up when you leave the state. Because we don't have reciprocity with
I got one for me and one for my wife.
Why you got your wife? So she can't carry her gun without you?
And without me. That's right. I got one for me, one for my wife. Because we travel so much, and sometimes
I got mine
when
right here.
Carry, there you go. I got mine.
Where yours at? What's that card say? NRA.
Man, boy, you about to get me run up out of here. Yeah, I got mine too,
but
man.
I think everybody should. I mean, it's as long as I think you can't be a felon, right? Is that true?
No, you can't be a felon.
You can't be a felon, but you should definitely get your license. You're able to carry it.
I think that if you want to protect your family, that's one thing. If you want to keep it in your car, know the laws, do those type things. I don't think we have any reasons for AR-15s and bump stocks. I think we need to eliminate the gun show loopholes and the other loopholes that exist. And so I think that things we can do, but I don't have a problem with black people owning guns.
Yeah, I just feel like it's certain people, like you included. If somebody told me, yo, Bakari's at Trump Towers, I'd be like, okay. Because I know.
Oh, we're going to have a real discussion.
A real discussion. That's how I felt about Killer Mike on the NRA. Like, all right.
But I mean, I had the same conversation with Steve Harvey. Mm-hmm. And Steve Harvey brought me on the show afterwards. I think I talked to you about it because you were like, Steve's my dude, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know him. Mm-hmm. But and then after I said something, he actually kind of went after me on his show a little bit. And so we were able to have a conversation. And I was like, I put you on the same platform as Harry Belafonte and James Brown. Like, you have that platform, so you have to make sure you're utilizing it properly. That means that you can go in and give some type of respectability to Donald Trump.
I agree.
No, I agree, too.
I'm shocked you haven't gotten any threats from the White House as much as you call Trump a racist on CNN.
I mean, because this is not – show me where the lie is.
And he has not – he don't defend it.
No, I mean, he blocked me from Twitter. He went at me. He went at me and called me a failure and some other stuff. And I mean, I don't know, man. I don't really have a lot of bandwidth for him. We deserve the president that we have in this country.
100%.
So now we have to deal with it, and unfortunately we're going backwards. But I think that people are waking up now. So now you got to pay attention in 2018. You got to go out and vote for Stacey Abrams. You got to vote for Andrew Gillum. You got to vote for Mandela Barnes. You got to do all of these things that are necessary. You got to vote for your local, dog catcher on up. Because, black folk, we don't show up every 2 years. We show up every 4 years, and 2018 matters.
What happens in 2020?
I don't know. Deval Patrick, Kamala Harris, Eric Garcetti, Mitch Landrieu, everybody running.
Kanye West.
What is he going to run as? He told me you're his campaign manager.
No way, Jose. I don't want no parts of that madness. No
How long
way.
was that? Why was that interview an hour and 45 minutes?
It was actually long.
Because it was
3 hours.
4 hours. and they edited it to 49 minutes.
That was I had to watch it in pieces.
I still haven't watched the whole thing.
And the backdrop was just that White House. What was that?
Listen,
it was unseasoned.
You want to know something funny?
It was unseasoned.
You know the cinematographer who shot that also was the cinematographer for Brokeback Mountain. He won an Academy Award.
That's why y'all look so comfortable walking out there together.
You see how they was walking in the mountains and stuff?
And it was from waist up, so they might have been holding hands or
They
something.
might have been naked on the bottom.
I'm not. Listen, I still got hope for Kanye, man. I feel like when you got somebody with that big of a gun, you got to teach him how to shoot. Because right now he's definitely aiming at the wrong.
Or
shit.
you just take his gun away from him.
Oh, you just take his gun away from him.
But you
can't.
Or you mute him.
That's not gonna happen. I think you arm him with the right information.
I don't know. I mean, if we can mute R. Kelly, you can take away.
R. Kelly ain't never make Jesus walks, man.
R. Kelly made I Believe I Can Fly.
R. Kelly ain't never made no late registration, no My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
What's that one? I am a
Quick conversation.
What?
R. Kelly never crossed over either, you know.
He didn't have to. He owned R. Kelly owned R&B.
He did, but he should have been way bigger than he was.
Fly crossed over.
I Believe I Can Fly crossover. It was a Space Jam soundtrack, right?
That record, but R. Kelly was like a BT.
He said Ignition. Nah, but you know, the cinematography on In the Closet. What was that? When he had the 8.
Oh, yeah.
That everybody was watching that every week to try to see Trapped in the Closet.
But that was us. R. Kelly is essentially like a really black artist.
Us.
Yeah.
I mean, outside of John B.
John B.
We are.
That's John B. right there. Our cameraman is John B.
Man, thank you for writing this book, man. This new book coming out.
Oh, Shook One. Yeah. Anxiety playing tricks on me.
My anxiety has been bothering me for a long time. So
they said that anxiety has gone up over the past year, and I'm sure it's due to the administration that we have in the White House.
I've been suffering from anxiety for a long time, so I'm glad you're writing it. I look forward to that therapy and reading it.
Word.
All right, what gives you anxiety before you leave? I'm just curious.
Fear. I tell people all the time, don't get paralyzed by fear, but I'm
fear of what?
Death and failure. And so anytime I feel as if I'm about to fail, it makes me work that much harder, but then I don't sleep. I stay up at night.
Yeah.
You find yourself just kind of, and I can't smoke weed because then I get more paranoid.
Oh, that's the first chapter of my book, by the way.
You smoke weed?
Last time I smoked was some sativa in California because I was trying to ease my anxiety, but I didn't realize sativa increases your anxiety. Nigga, Lord have mercy. Nigga, I thought I was going to die.
I tell people all the time, I can't smoke weed because I'll be that dude who's looking through the blinds like, are they coming yet? So for me, I just, you try to control your vices, but, you work that much harder until my anxiety pushes me and pushes me and pushes me until your body's like, because sometimes I'll call my wife and I'm like, man, my body's telling me I'm about to give out.
I used to have anxiety about not death but failure. That was big for me, especially my kids. And my kids actually stopped it. Like my kids were like, I don't care what you do, how much money we have. It was like, if it gets rough. No, that's what my kids say.
They say that now because they don't know no other life.
But you got to think my kids are not like me. Like they don't care about sneakers. They don't care about none of that. They just don't care. Like as long as dad's around, they don't care, which made me stop doing shows as much, which made me stop doing a lot of stuff that I did because at one time I was like, I got to do this because they can never be broke.
Yeah.
They can never be this way. And they're like, I don't care. Like, Dad, I just want you home. That means more to me than anything. And I kind of stopped. Like, I don't care. I'm not on social media like that anymore. I ain't doing as many shows. I used to do 6 shows a week.
That's crazy.
Sleep in the station here for an hour. Now I do what I feel like. I do it because I want to. And that really helped me.
What's your anxiety stem from?
Don't tell the book. No, same thing, but more so like I think the older I get, having a family, having a wife, like I'm constantly worried about them. You know what I mean? And I came to find out that my grandmother used to take nerve pills because she was like super paranoid.
My mom is bipolar, and so for me, I don't know if it's like it's hereditary. I mean, so the crazy part about it is I can tell you about Israel and Palestine. I can tell you about tax policy. I can tell you about criminal justice. I can tell you about the environment. But when you talk about mental health, I stutter. It's just something that I can be extremely deep on a wide array of issues, but it's something that black men we don't talk about because it was a sign of weakness for so long. Right. That's why your book is so important.
Yeah, my mom had panic attacks. My grandma was on nerve pills.
The panic attacks ain't nothing. I mean, they ain't nothing to play with.
Oh, hell no, you feel like you're having a heart attack.
You feel like you can't breathe? You feel like you're about to die.
I had one last night, driving in the car, because somebody pulled up behind me, and the music was loud. Like, and I'm like, yo, who's this trying to follow me home? I don't know why my mind just automatically went to that. Immediately, and then the car, like, pulled up on the side of me. I'm thinking they about to start shooting. Like, I was bugging.
Now I ain't
I
gonna
got
lie.
taste the anxiety
I
in
ain't
my
gonna lie. I
mouth.
still got anxiety for that. Like, you know.
Well, then you not over it then.
Nah,
I'm just
I'm gonna tell you, cause that's something.
because you know people who don't have anxiety, they rest easy. They're like, well, if it's my
Nah.
time to
Nah,
go, then I'll just go.
Somebody shot at my car already a couple times.
Well, that's
Somebody
trauma.
shot at your car?
And you got trauma.
Yeah, shot it up 5 times.
Were you?
I was hit. I was driving.
What?
I was
Recently?
driving.
Was that 2 years
They tried
ago?
to rob me. Yeah, about a year ago. They tried to rob me.
So they in New York they shoot first and rob second. They
Well,
don't even
what
try to
happened
get
was
it and then shoot after.
They had a car behind me. They put on police lights and they tried to act like they were cops and pull me over. My dad's a retired cop, so I knew what to look like. There was no red light. In New York and New Jersey, the police lights have red and blue. It was only blue, which usually means fire department. So I was sketchy.
Well, you smart.
Man, this is my life. So when they pulled me off, so now they ran into the back of my car. So now I wanted to see who they were because now I felt like, it's stupid of me, I felt like if I got away, I would never know where it came from. And that would give me super anxiety because now I don't know if it's Charlemagne, if it's Wax, if it's you, if it's Angela Yee, who's trying
You
to
got
get
Kevin
me?
Hart issues then. It's
Right.
your team doing it to you.
So I jetted and I went through the Easy Pass where I know Easy Pass takes pictures. So I went through the Easy Pass slow. It took a picture. It was able to get a shot of their face. Once I got the shot of their face, I know I got to get out of Dodge. So I went on the highway, backed up. They shooting at my car. They said trying to bust out the tire, but they're fucking 21 years old. They're not no marksman. They just shooting.
Did they catch him?
Yeah, of course. Like I said, I took the shot and we were able to catch.
But you don't realize you probably got trauma from that.
Probably.
PTSD. Like
Probably
you,
don't.
like that's the type of stuff.
I mean, but
go
like imagine if you had your wife and daughter in the car,
oh my god.
Oh yeah, well yeah, absolutely.
or you would have wrecked or something. I mean, that's
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But those are the things that I deal with now. Like when I leave a club, I leave a spot. You got to catch me.
man. My wife called me the
I'm
other
going
day. My wife
zoom.
called me the other day. Said that my daughter's school was on orange alert. Man, I was in the office. I couldn't focus. She was like, I'm gonna call you right back. And people know that when they call me and be like, I got something to tell you. We need to talk. Like, don't hang up the phone.
Right.
You need to tell me right now.
Yeah,
I'm the same
man.
way.
What's going? You need to tell me right now because my anxiety can't take it. So.
And see, that's the other thing too. You go visit your daughter's school and you realize that they got the school shooting training.
It was that's what I'm saying. It was a training. I was like, man, y'all got to tell people about this.
Yeah.
I'm about to have a heart attack in the office or call.
Orange alert, I'm on my way.
Or my friend,
I'm on my way.
we're going to load up and go see what we can do
I'm on my way.
ourselves.
I'm sorry. I'm going to get my AR. I'm going to get my. We going up there. I'm going to bring my daughter home. Like that. That's how I feel. Like you said.
Word
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, so anyway, thank you for this because I'm looking forward to reading it and hopefully us talking about it even here will have other people talking about it.
Absolutely.
And tell them where they can find you. You got the podcast.
I got the podcast Viewpoint with Bakari Sellers. Instagram, man, I'm trying to get my Instagram up to where yours is and stuff, man.
Tell them the Instagram name.
It's Bakari Sellers, Bakari Sellers, Sellers.
All right. Well, it's Bakari Sellers. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.